तस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकय चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरुवे नमः। श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूप कदा मह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकम्। वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरु श्रीयुतपदकमलं श्रीगुरुं वैष्णवांश श्रीरूपं सागरजातं सहगण रघुनाथान्वितं तं सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनसहितं कृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधा कृष्णपदान् सहगण ललिता श्रीविशाखान्वितांश्च नम ओं विष्णुपादाय कृष्णपृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदांत स्वामिन्निति नामिने। नमस्ते सारस्वते देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देश तारिणे। हे कृष्णा करुणा सिंधु दीनबंधु जगतपते गोपेश गोपिका कांत राधा कांत नमस्तुते। तप्त कांचन गौरांगी राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये। वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यस्य कृपा सिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंदा। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। Hare Krishna. Welcome to the Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu Southern Division. Yesterday we began the discussion on Anubhava, and I'll briefly touch upon yesterday's discussion and then we will continue our discussion. I've already summarized Jiva Goswami's, sorry, Bhaktivinoda Thakur's explanation on Anubhava, and I have dealt it in an entire one class. So I will not go into it further. And I gave a recap also, what is Anubhava. And then we went into the definition of Anubhava. When the chitta, the heart filled with spiritual emotions, there are transformations. And Bhaktivinoda Thakur made it clear how this is different from the sattvic vikars, ashtasattvic vikars. But these are voluntary expressions. That's what we, you know, brought out in our discussion. And what are these? These are Nritya, Viluntita, Geetam, and there are two classifications, Shevana and Sita, throwing and cooling. And now each of them, from yesterday we began the discussion, Nrityam, dancing, scriptural quotations, and then falling on the ground, Akrura, when he enters Vrindavan, seeing the footsteps of Krishna on earth, he suddenly jumps from the chariot and starts rolling in the ground. And then we saw another example also. And then we saw Geetam, when the Radharani is singing, the gopis become hard like stones, the stones melt. So this is the effect of Geetam. So now we will continue our discussion on the fourth one, Kroshanam Yatha. Hari Kirtanam Jata Vikriyah Sa Vikrosha Tadadya Narada Achiran Narasimha Sankaya Dhanujayena Drita Vilirire. Because of the transformations brought about Vikriya by the chanting of the name of Hari, Hari Kirtana Jata, Narad began shouting in such a manner, Sa Vikrosha Tathadya Narada, that the demons immediately hid themselves. Danuja Yena Drita, trembling in fear. Vihiri, that Narasimha had made his appearance. Achiran Narasimha Sankaya. So just like when Narasimha came out from the pillar, and what a loud roar it was heard in the entire planetary, 14 planetary systems. And not only that, it pierced the Brahmanda. So similarly, the shouting of Narada was like that, and the demons hid themselves. So this is mad shouting. Mad people also shout, you know that? And but this is transcendental shouting. You have to remember that. Another example, Yathava. Urarikrita kakur akula kururiva vrajarajananda murli tarli kritantara muhur akroshad ihadya sundari. O son of Vraja's king, Vrajarajananda. Today in Vrindavan, Iha Adya, the beautiful Radha Sundari, her heart melted by sound of your flute, Murli Tarli Kritantara, was constantly shouting, Muhur Kroshad, Akroshad. Krosha means to shout, and Akroshad means loud shouting, in agitation, Akula, like a female osprey. Kuru Riva, that with a changed voice. Uru Krita Kakur. The female osprey is I think a kind of a bird. Let me see. Osprey. Osprey is a bird. I am sure about it. A large harmless hawk found worldwide that feeds on fish and builds building bulky nest, often occupied for years. So it's a fish eagle. I mentioned, no? So sometimes some birds, no, they shout like anything, and you can hear although they are in the sky. Tarali Kritantara is a formed from Tarala with the verb Krit. Okay, this is something to do with grammar. We'll not go to. In this case, the heart turns liquid by the sound of the flute. So Prabhupada altogether mentions he was chanting, Narad Muni was chanting Hare Krishna mantra so loudly that, and the demons began to flee. Maybe Narsimha appeared. And then the second example also, Prabhupada paraphrases that. It is very similar. I'll go into that. Okay. Tanu mochanam yata. Krishna namani mudopavinite. Prinite manasi vainiko muni. Udbhatam kim api motanen. Vapustrotayat akhila yagya sutrakam. Narad Muni blissfully singing Muda Vainiko, the names of Krishna, Krishna Namani, on his Veena, Upavinite, with a happy mind, Prinite Manasi. So, chanting with happy mind is one who can, who is free from all anarthas, free from all material desires. Only that time it can happen. Evam prasanna manaso bhagavat bhakti yogata bhagavat tattva vijnana mukta sangasya jayate. If there are any material desires, the heart is always dissatisfied. If there are any vasanas also, that troubles the heart. You cannot be happy. So, with a happy mind, stretched Motayan, his body, Vapus, in the most astonishing way, Udvatam came up and completely broke his sacred thread. Trotayat Akhila Yagya Sutrakam. So, stretching his body. The way you stretch the body, that is also Anubhava experienced. While singing with bliss, Muda, accompanied by the Veena, Upavinite, Narad stretched his body violently, Udbatam, in an indescribable way, Kimapi, so that his sacred thread broke completely. Same thing Prabhupada mentions. I will not go into it. Hunkaro yata. Vainavadvanibir udbaramaddiya. Shankarasya dve hunkrita vana. Dvamshayannapi muhusa davanam. Sadhu vrindam akarot sadanavam. Bellowing, hunkar. Hearing the sound of the veena, Vainava, Dvanibir, Shiva, Shankarasya, mind excited, Udbharat, Dhya, bellowed in such a way, Dvi, Hunkrita, Swana, that it destroyed Dvamshayan Api, the demons, Sadanava, and gave the highest bliss, Akarot Sadanavam, to the devotees, Sadhu Vrindam, at every moment, Mohu. I don't know in which context this pastime is there. Let us see. He rode in a suitable manner continuously so that it made the devotees at every moment experience the highest bliss. Sada Navam Akarot. And it destroyed the associates of demons. Sadanavam. Virod Alankar is used. Virod Alankar, again, I don't know Kavya Shastra, but, two opposing experiences for one effect is what is my understanding. For the devotees, it gives highest bliss. And for the demons, it destroys them. Same thing has having two different effects. Sadhu Vrindam Akarot Sada Navam would also mean the sound made the devotees become demons. However, this is a contradiction. By dividing the syllables differently into Sada Navam, the real meaning appears. So Sadanavam, you have to break it and then you get the real meaning. Because it cannot be that the sound can make devotees into demons. No. Okay, crying loudly. It is described by hearing the vibration of Krishna's food. Lord Shiva became very present and he begins to cry so loudly into space that the demons became vanquished and the devotees became overwhelmed with joy. So hearing Krishna's flute, this is the effect on Shiva and all others. If you have any questions, you are free to ask. I'm just going to go through this each of these Anubhavas and the scriptural references. Yes, Subhekshana Krishna Prabhuji. Subhekshana Krishna Prabhuji, sorry. Subhekshana Krishna Prabhuji, yes. I have unmuted you.
Hare Krishna Prabhu. Prabhu, in this context that we are discussing now on Virodha Lankara, can we also understand like in Bhagavad Gita chapter 1 when Krishna is playing his Panchajanya, for the devotees it was a transcendental sound, but for the Kauravas it was like
Yes,
banishing their
yes.
hearts.
Exactly. Very, very beautiful correlation with the Bhagavad Gita. Yes. The Pandavas felt joy in their heart when Krishna blew his conch shell, but the Kauravas, there was fear in their heart. So this is how the effect happens. Excellent. Very, very good. Very good example. You can relate to that. Thank you for illuminating us on this very beautiful example. Okay. Any other questions anyone has? Okay. So now yawning. Drimbanam yatha. Vishtritah kumudavanesmin Udayati purne kalanido purnatah tava padmini mukapadmam bhajate jimbam aho chitram. O lotus mukapadmam, how astonishing that aho chitram, in the grove of blossoming white lilies, vistrita kumuda vane asmin, you have blossomed tava padmini at the rising of the full moon on the eastern horizon. Udayati purna Kala Nidho Purnata. I don't know again in which context this is. Let us see. Jiva Goswami's commentary. O Radha, when the ocean of all arts Krishna, who has appeared to give bliss to the earth, arrives before you, it is astonishing that your lotus face shows lethargy by yawning. When Krishna appears, this is the effect of the Anubhava of Radharani of yawning. Vistruta Kumadavane, broad lotus forest, can be analyzed as Vistruta Muda Avanam, extensive preservation of the bliss of the earth. Thus, the sentence can mean when Krishna, who preserves the bliss of the earth, appears in front of you, it is surprising that you yawn in lethargy. So, this is all, signs of love, which is very difficult to understand. It's a language of love, the Anubhavas which are manifest here. Note the Kumuda blooms at night and the lotus blooms during the night day. This is known, okay? Yawning. Prabhupada, it is said that when the full moon rises, the lotus petals become expanded. This is Kumuda, the white leaf. Similarly, when Krishna used to appear before Radharani, her face, which is compared to the lotus flower, would expand by her yawning. श्वास भूम्ना यथा उपस्थिते चित्रपटाम्बुदागमे वृद्ध तृष्णा ललिताख्य चाटकी निश्वास झंझा मरुतापवाहितम कृष्णम्बुदाकरम अवेक्ष चुक्षुबे. When the monsoon arrived with colorful clothing, upastite chitra patam budagame. Agame means it arrived. Colorful clothing is, especially the rainbow one is there. The Chataki bird named Lalita, Lalita Akya Chataki, became increasingly thirsty. Vivriddha Trishna, seeing Avikshe, the form of that black cloud called Krishna, Krishna Ambuda Karam, driven away, apavahitam, by the strong breathing nishvasa of the monsoon wind mixed with rain. Janjaha Maruta. Maruta is the wind. She became disturbed. Chakshubhe. Now here again the kavya is used of comparison of the Chataka bird, Lalita, the gopi it is, seeing Krishna, who is Sham Sundar, who is Navi Abhinavadhara Jala Sundar, like the dark monsoon cloud. And when Krishna comes, then there is strong winds when there is rain, and there is this. So similarly, the Anubhava is of Shwas coming out, just like the winds are coming out like that. Ambudagame refers to the monsoon rains. Trikanda Shesha says, now I don't know what is this Trikanda Shesha, maybe Vatulo Vata Gulmaha Syat Charavayur Nidhagya Ja Janjanila Pravrisho Vasanto Malayanila. In the hot season, there will be strong winds and gales. In the monsoon season, there will be rain mixed with wind, and during the spring, there will be a fragrant breeze. So, the different seasons, how it is, it is mentioned. Because of the strength of her breathing and because of the mixture with tears, wind, and rain, Krishna disappeared from her sight because of the disturbance on his cloth. So we'll have to know the whole pastime which is there, which I am also not aware. Let's see what Prabhupada has to additionally say. As far as breathing heavily is concerned, it is stated Lalita, one of the gopis, is just like a Chatak bird. I mentioned that, which only takes water falling directly from the rain cloud and not from any other source. So, she only is, her attraction is fixed to Krishna. In this grade, Krishna is compared to the dark cloud and Lalita is compared to the Chataki bird, seeing only Krishna's company, The metaphor continues to say, as the heavy wind sometimes disperses a mighty cloud, so the heavy breath from Lalita's nostril caused her to miss Krishna, which had disappeared by the time she recovered herself. So, as the heavy wind sometimes disperses a mighty cloud, so similarly, Lalita's nostrils, the swasa was like that heavy cloud, and suddenly it blurred the vision of Krishna. Krishna was not seen, by the time she recovered. Lokana apekshita yatha shri dashame. So in the 10th canto, disregard for all others. Aho pashata narinamapi Krishne jagadguru duranta bhavam yo vidyan mrutupashan graha abhidhan. Just see Aho pashata, the unlimited love, duranta bhavam. bhava is here love. These women have developed Narinam for Lord Krishna, Api Krishna, the spiritual master of the entire universe, Jagat Guru. This love has broken Yo Vidyan, their very bonds of death, Mrityu Pashan, their attachment to family, Graha Abhidan. If their bonds for death are broken, then definitely family attachments are broken also. Now, this is the Brahmanas glorifying their wives, Yagyapatnis. This is a statement by the Brahmanas performing sacrifice. So, neglecting the presence of others. As for neglecting the presence of others in Krishna, the wives of the Brahmanas who were performing sacrifice left home as soon as they heard that Krishna is nearby. So neglected everyone's presence and they left. They left their homes without caring for their learned husbands. Now, I would like to mention something here, which is to be carefully understood and evaluated. Uh, this is the spontaneous, affection of the pure devotees in Krishna Lila. What to speak of gopis? These are the yogic brahmanas, wives who are, in the varnashram, and going out of the house is also, it is, restricted. But the love they had, that spontaneous love, broke all these barriers, and they were able to, go and see Krishna, and they did not care for their husbands also. So sometimes uh, this can be, a source of impediment in our practice of Krishna consciousness, or it can be a source by which we can transcend our bodily consciousness and go deeper in Krishna consciousness. I want to present these two aspects. Now, sometimes devotees, especially uh, both in the brahmachari ashram also, grahastha ashram also, like when there is say, a very senior devotee who has come, or they want to do some services in the temple, and that's why they can neglect the services at home, and they don't have that spontaneous attraction, definitely, because spontaneous attraction means you have to be, I don't say some must be having also, but they might neglect the duties, their important duties at home or the ashram, and they might go, and this can create real conflicts, and I know about it. Sometimes they might go, devotee has got responsibilities in temple, and he leaves that to, attend to some other responsibilities, and because of neglecting uh, these responsibilities, things get affected. On the other hand, uh, this can, cause conflict, cause issues, and instead of, being help for advancement in Krishna consciousness, it can cause impediments. Like I'll give an example, like, the wife is supposed to cook breakfast for the husband and for the deities, and she neglects that duty and goes for the morning Bhagavatam class to the temple. And she might tell the husband, no, no, you take, prasad in the temple. I want to attend the class. So there has to be a balance struck. On the other hand, sometimes you know there can be situations where we need to transcend the bodily consciousness to really go for that particular event, and you're not neglecting the duties, whichever ashram it is, whether in the temple for the brahmacharis or in the grass for the grahast ashram. So we need to transcend. So so both the balance has to be struck, and this is very important, and this can cause real, havoc in our practices if we don't balance this. So this is a very important principle one should know, and this has to do with Rupa Goswami's niyam agraha. Niyam agraha, niyam agraha. Again, I'll not go into that principle. In the name of some higher thing, We neglect the basic rules and try to take a jump, but that jump causes a fall for us. So I just brought out this very important principle in this context. The husbands began to discuss this among themselves. How wonderful is the attraction for Krishna that it has made these women leave us without any care. So they genuinely appreciated that. They genuinely appreciated. This is the influence of Krishna. Anyone becomes attracted to Krishna can be relieved from the bondage of birth and death, which can be compared to the locked up homes that were neglected by the wives of the Brahmanas. So this is the point. Okay. Yathava Padyavalam. So in the Padyavali, he's giving another quotation. Parivandito jano yata tatava nano mukharo na vayam vicharayama harirasa mandira madita matta bhuvi viluntam natham nirvi sama. Let the big mouths gossip. Parivandito jano yatha tatava. We will not consider at all. Nanu mukharo na vayam vicharayama. By tasting the sweet liquor of Hari Rasa Madira, Madira is liquor, we have become joyful and intoxicated. Madita Matta. Let us fall on the ground. Bhuvi Vilintama. Dance, Natama, and enjoy. Ni Vi Shama. So here both Anubhavas are there, dance and falling on the ground. Nirvisama means let us enjoy. The alternate reading is also suitable is prayatama. Let us wander about. Putting all these three verbs in the imperative first person is most suitable. Again, this is to do with grammar. Will not go. So Prabhupada's Padyavali statement is also there. In the Padyavali, there is a statement by some devotees. We shall not care for any outsiders. If they should deride us, we shall still not care for them. We shall simply enjoy the transcendental mellows of chanting Hare Krishna, and thus we shall roll on the ground and dance ecstatically. In this way, we shall eternally enjoy transcendental bliss. Okay, up till now, any questions? Any questions, any clarifications you have? Okay, so we'll finish all the scriptural references for the further. Lala Shavo Yatha. Drooling. That is saliva coming out. Sanke prema bujangane dashata kashtam gato muni. Nishchalasya yadetasya lala shavati vaktrata. I think Shanka, that Narad Muni, bitten by the scorpion of Prema. Prema Bhujangane Dashta, he is bitten by the Prema, is suffering in pain. Kashtagato, because he has fallen into motionless state. Nishalasya, and saliva dripping. Lala Shavati from his mouth. Etasya Vaktraha. Because he is Narad, he must, his state must be caused by Prema, but lying motionless and drooling are the symptoms of scorpion bite. So scorpion bite also this manifest, but because it is Narad, it is because by Prema. That is why that I think is there. Prabhupada speaks about the same thing. Attahas. Hasad binno tasoyam chitta vikshepa sambhava. Laughing loudly. That laughing which rises from disturbance from the heart, chit vikshepa sambhava, is called laughing loudly, attahas, attahasoyam. This is distinguished from the normal laugh, hasa binno. Now, I would like to make a point because here, it's well known, to be happy, sometimes people go in the park and do loud laughing just to be happy. And this is not going to, take you from the cycle of birth and death. Maya is going to laugh at us. But this laugh, attahasa, is coming from the anubhav because of the chitta vikshepa sambhava. Chitta vikshepa. So this is not, this is coming from a transcendental platform, completely from a transcendental platform. And this is going to free us from the cycle of birth and death. So we should not get illusioned by this laughter so that we can be happy again in this material world. It will bind us. Maya will laugh at us. So we should try to develop bhakti and come to this stage of attahasa. Yatha Sankechiram Keshavkinkarasya Chetastate Bhaktilata Prapulla Yenadhi Tunde Stalam Attahasa Prasuna Punjas Chatulam Skalanti. I think, Sanke, that the creeper of devotion, Bhaktilata, in the heart of Chetas, the servant of Krishna, Keshavasya Kinkarasya, has been blossoming. Tate Prapulla, प्रफुल्लित हो गया है. For a long time, Chiram, because a multitude of flowers, Prasuna Punjas Chatulam, in the form of his loud laughing, Attahasa is shaking Skalanti, his trembling lips, Yathadi Tunda Salam. The characteristics of Attahasa are as follows. Utfulanasika Randram Alodita Mukha Ikshanam Uddatam Vikrítakaram natte attahasitam vidu. Attahasa consists of rude, loud laughing with flared nostrils and agitated glances while dancing. Though the loud laugh presents itself as ferocious to an opposing party when accompanied by abusive language, it presents itself as pleasing to one's own party. So the outside people who are not in devotion, they might see it as ferocious, but the devotees parties understand all this. Thus, it can be depicted as somewhat soft. In this verse, someone of the same party describes the devotees' loud laughing, which indicates scorn for those who criticize bhakti, laughing like a madman. When a devotee laughs very loudly like a madman, it's done out of an extraordinary agitation of ecstatic love within the heart. So please remember, this is the point I also wanted to make, that it is because of the extraordinary agitation in the heart. It is extraordinary agitation in the heart. Such mad laughing is an expression of the condition of the heart, which is technically called attahas. When a devotee becomes affected by this mental condition, his love is expressed through the lips. The laughing sounds coming one after another is compared to flowers falling from the creeper of devotion which grows within the heart of the devotee. So here the finer metaphors is the mental condition manifest physically on the lips, and the sound of that laughter is like flowers of the creeper of devotion coming from the heart of that devotion very beautifully. In the Chaitanya Charitamrita, devotional service to the Lord is also compared a creeper which rises up to the lotus feet of Krishna in Golok Vrindavan. Anyone knows about very exalted devotees manifesting this tahas? Anyone knows? Can quote some examples of your experience? Anyone knows? Oh, one hand has been raised. Yes, Maya Narsimha Prabhuji.
I was just trying to guess, Prabhu.
Mhm.
It could be Madhumangal and Krishna's friends, Sudama and etc.
Okay, Madhu Mangal. Okay. Anyone in your practical experience, you have not seen Madhu Mangal?
No, Prabhu, sorry.
Anyone? Anyone knows in the you know, contemporary times of, This attahas example. Anyone knows? I'm just showing you a picture, and you can. This is of His Holiness Radhanath Maharaj. You can see this picture, it really reflects, You can see this picture. So this is, an example of attahas. Okay. So let's come back to Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu. Okay. Ghor, Gruna Yatha, whirling around. ध्रुवम् अगरिपुराददाति वाक्यां ननु मुरली त्वयि फुट्कृति छलेन किम् अयम् इतरतः ध्वनिर्विगृणानां सखि तव गृणयति व्रज अम्बुजाक्षी. O my friend Saki, dear flute, Murli, Krishna, Agaripur, on the pretext of blowing you, Twai Futkriti Chalena is certainly, producing a gale. Dhruvam Adadati Vatyam. Otherwise, I am Itaratha. How, Kim, does your sound alone, Tavadvanir Vigrunanam, cause the beautiful women of Vraja Ambujakshi, to whirl around Grunayati? So just the flute of Krishna, the fifth flute, what he plays, just hearing that flute, the gopis of Vrindavan, hearing that, they just go into a kind of whirling on. And this is there in the BBT pictures. And I'm going to show you that picture. I somehow forgot to insert it in the slide here, but I'll definitely want to share that. And you can understand it. This Anubhava, you'll easily understand it. Give me a minute. A minute. Yes, I got it. I am sharing the screen. Yes, this is that picture. Just whirl, they go on a whirl, just hearing the flute. So devotees in the kirtan you have seen many times. Then they, they just, two devotees catch their hand and they just go around. Sometimes they swing. So all these are manifestation of anubhavs, and I mentioned that even the sadhakas in the sadhana stage, because of that bliss in the kirtan, sometimes manifest this. Wheeling of the head. One gopi told her, it appears that Lord Krishna, the enemy of the demon Aga, has released from his mouth a whirlwind which is acting on her head, that is gradually proceeding to do the same to other lotus-eyed gopis. So they also whirl. Krishna's, flute playing, you know, uh, acts on the head, and gradually the head starts, wheeling, whirling, and that's also the effect the gopis have. Hikayata, hiccups. न पुत्री रचयौषधम् विसृज्य रोदम् अत्युदताम् बुधा प्रियसखिं प्रति त्वम् अविशं किम् आशंकसे हरिप्रणय विक्रियाकुल कुलतया ब्रुवानामुहुर्वराक्षि हरिर् इत्यसो वितनोते अद्य हिक्काबरम्. Again, I'm not able to recite these verses on a particular meter because I don't know their meters. Please forgive me for that. Oh, daughter, Putri, Yogmaya is telling, I think, Radharani, Are you worrying? Kim tvam shankase uselessly muda that something shivam has happened to your dear friend Radha, Priya Sakim Prati? Do not, no, apply any medicine. Rachaya aushadam. Give up this loud weeping. Visrija rodam. Atyudatam. Oh, beautiful eyed girl. Varakshi. Today, Adya, Radha afflicted by the transformations, Vikriya Kulataya, bought on Vitunite by love for Krishna, Hari Pranaya, is afflicted by hiccups, Hikkabaram, while chanting his name. Bruvana Hari iti aso, incessantly moho. So while chanting the names, if hiccups are coming, these are the signs of manifestation of love. Please remember that. For us, only hiccups come when we take prasad, food. And after, the hiccup is a signal that you should stop eating. We continue to eat and overeat. That is our state, at least my state, I can say. Okay. This is the statement of Purnamasi to Lalita. Purnamasi is telling Lalita. Lalita is, concerned, she's having hiccups. She wants to get some medicine. No, no medicine will work. These hiccups are coming because she has taken the name of Krishna, and because of love, these transformations are happening. In the Ujjwala Neelmani, she is described as having a sympathetic mood of love. Lalita is having a sympathetic mood of love. Thus, there is a suggestion that she will find a remedy for Radha's hiccups. Rodam Adyatatam is an acceptable version. Belging. Prabhupada says, belging becomes a symptom of love. This is evidence. There is evidence of this in Purnimasi's addressing to one crying associate of Radharani. And Prabhupada quotes the same thing. This statement of Purnamasi is evidence that ecstatic love for Krishna is sometimes manifested through belging. Okay, now further, after quoting all these Anubhavas, Rupa Goswami makes an important point. Vapur utfalata raktodgamadyasu parepi ye ativa virlatvat na naivatra parikirtita. Other symptoms such as Shiv Parepiye, extreme goosebumps, Vapur Utfalata, and sweating blood, Rakt Udgama Adya, are not described here. Naiva Atra Parikirtita, since they are very rare. Ativa Virilatva Te. Now, even Bhaktivinoda Thakur made this point, and they are only manifested in the body of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Vapur Utfalata refers to extreme goosebumps on the body. Raktodgama refers to blood oozing with the perspiration. This Mahaprabhu is to experience. And Vishwanath Chakra Thakur, his only verse commentary in this section, Anubhava, is these two are actually extreme versions of Sattvic bhavs of Fulaka and Sweda. So these are extreme Sattvic bhavs. That's what he mentions. Sometimes the whole body and hemorrhaging of some part of the body is also manifested in response to ecstatic love for Krishna, but such symptoms are very rare, and therefore Srila Goswami does not discuss any further on this point. And we are also not going to discuss any further up till this point because Anubhava is over. Now, we are going to take up any questions if you have any further questions. So, any further questions up till now? Anubhava is basically quite simple. Only thing you have to understand the definition. It is follows after Vibhav. And these are also external manifestations of love, but they are voluntary. And although these are vikar transformation, the transformations are the chit vikars. And the Ashta Sattvic vikars are involuntary transformations of the chitta. And there are these two divisions, Sita and Shepana. Shita are not manifesting any bodily, they are like, what does Rupa Goswami say? Shita is just cooling actions that display apathy or contentedness, whereas throwing our actions involve hasty movements, like, whirling of the gopis. These are Shepana, throwing. And each of these were given definition or scriptural references by Rupa Goswami. So that completes Anubhava discussion. Any questions, any clarifications, any comments, any suggestions, any corrections? Anything you have to say? Priya Mataji, yes.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, Dandavat Pranam. Parents love Krishna like Yashoda and Nand Baba. Immediately
Parents
when
love?
they,
No, I did not understand. Parents love. What does
like
it mean?
Yashoda and Nand Baba, when they see Krishna back home in the evening, the kind of happiness on their face is that Anubhava, like they're
Yes,
eagerly
smile.
waiting
The
the
smile
end.
in the face is Anubhava.
Okay, yeah, thank you.
We also see a devotees. The moment we see the devotees, we smile. That is also Anubhava, for your kind information. That's also Anubhava. Okay. Any other questions anyone else has? Any other clarifications? Yes, Kripalu Gaur Sundar Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna. So,
Can you be a little
Anubhavas
loud
are
and clear?
uh, Anubhavas are. Am I audible to?
Yes.
Anubhavas are voluntary and followed after like Vibhava. Anubhava. Anubhava means by word Anu means following, following Vibhava. But
Yes.
uh, the difference between Anubhava and Sattvika Bhava is just in the in the perspective of voluntarily and involuntarily response, or any other differences. Uh, uh,
Yeah, there is
how
this
we can
difference that
differentiate?
these are voluntary actions, which, there is a conscious, in the chitta. Now, when we refer to chitta, the chit refers to, the antakaran, where there is the mind, intelligence, and the false ego. But of course, the subtle body is completely destroyed at bhava stage. Now, the chitta is again just the spiritual heart. And in the chitta, these transformations happening. So there is the spiritual intelligence. The spiritual intelligence is awakened, and the spiritual, guided by the spiritual intelligence, these emotions are manifesting. So that's where the spiritual intelligence is acting, and with the spiritual intelligence, these emotions are expressed externally, what is there internally in the heart. So that is the anubhavas, whereas the Ashtasattvic bhavas, Ashtasattvic vikars are again the transformations of the chitta, but the chitta interacts with the prana and the elements, and these transformations manifest as hair standing on end, or tears, all that. So the conscious spiritual intelligence, okay, let me open up my arms to embrace Krishna. Uh, that is the subtle distinction, you can say, between the two.
Yes.
I hope you got it clearly.
Yeah, yeah. In Ashtasattva, that intelligence doesn't work. Means there is
No,
absence of this.
intelligence is there. That's intelligence is there. That spiritual intelligence, but the transformations of the chitta, uh,
Yeah.
through the prana, interacting with the prana, they manifest on the body. But here, the spiritual
Yes.
intelligence expresses those emotions by voluntary actions.
Yes.
Got it?
Thank you. Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. There was another question, Bir Krishna Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu, Dandavat.
Yes.
Prabhu, when devotees have not developed this bhava stage and they don't know their bhava, and sometimes when in temple some kirtan is going on or some festival is there, and devotees get excited and they
Oh, all that shouting, that whirling, and all the raising of the arms, all that are anubhavas. But we have to understand that they are manifestation of the at the sadha stage, there is a just reflection of bhava experienced because of the ecstatic kirtan or the festival. All that mercy is descending, and that's why devotees are happy, smiling, chanting, and the dancing. So all these are anubhavas. That's what I mentioned. When we see another devotee, we smile. These are anubhavas.
All right. Right.
Okay. Any other questions anyone else has? Okay, so we'll stop here. Shri Bhakti Rasamrit Sindhu ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur ki jai, Srila Rupa Goswami Pad ki jai. Hare Krishna. Dhanyavad.